This KISD Coaches Show is supported by Coach Henderson Sports Photography, Modern Appliance, Clean Veterinary Clinic, Denali Roofing, Seashells Visuals, and Cloud Real Estate.
Well, welcome into the Josh Sadler Show, and we're glad you're joining us for tonight's ball game. And weather permitting, we're going to get the ball game in. We've had to move some things around this week, but Josh says, hey, we're ready for Friday night. We're going to play as long as it ain't lightning.
Absolutely. I'm not, the weather doesn't affect us any. You know, I know some guys are moving some games around worried about it. I think it has more to do with the playoffs than it does anything else. But, you know, in our situation, you know, it is what it is. You know, we're going to line up and play in whatever weather God gives us and see what happens.
Rain games are fun, right?
They can be. They can be. You can use up a lot of footballs, but, you know, kids got to learn how to play in any condition, you know, and that's part of the toughness factor, the thing between the ears that we've got to work on too. Understanding that no matter what happens, no matter who we play, no matter what conditions we have to play in, because, you know, where we want to go with this program is playing in December. And guess what? In December, it's going to rain. It's going to be cold. And hell, it may even snow.
Yeah, and you never know about in Texas. It may get sunshine and 80 degrees.
Correct.
Too.
And it may happen. But, you know, again, we've got to teach our kids that no matter what adversity's in front of them, we have to tackle with everything that we have. So, I'm glad we're playing on Friday.
Yep. Let's go back to last week real quick. Shoemaker, Gray Wolves. Yep. Boy, what a tight ball game. Just a couple big plays, the difference in the ball game.
Yeah. You know, Toby had his team prepared, and they played well. You know, made more plays than we did, and that's the bottom line. You know, we diagnosed it and looked at it from every different angle that we could. You know, we played pretty good defense, but we didn't play good enough defense. You know, at the end of the day, your job is to pitch a shutout, and we didn't do that. You know, we made some mistakes in there on really 3 plays. The 3 touchdown plays were mistakes. You know, we missed on a blitz late in the ball game. You know, we had a kid that we thought was down on one of those plays, and he popped up, and I really couldn't tell whether he was down or not. But popped up and scored. The referees told him he wasn't down, so it worked out in Shoemaker's favor. And then, you know, the first touchdown, you know, we just made mistakes. And, you know, when you're playing against good football teams with good talent, and late in the year towards playoff time, you can't make those mistakes. So that was the thing that I stressed to our ball club. And then, you know, we got to be better on special teams. We had too many mistakes in that area. And then we got to score points on offense. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, the job of the offense is score more points than they do. And, you know, so to me, it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. Now, the hard part is trying to get those kids to all understand that, you know, in the meantime. And that's, you know, that's where we've got to really work hard in the offseason is the 6-inch space between their ears. And that's the goal as we move forward.
Well, you're going to have an off season.
Yes, I'm actually going to get to have an off season, and what a good feeling that's going to be. You know, to get in there in the weight room with those kids and start talking, having character talks, and having, you know, the personal interviews, and really trying to tap into who these young men are, and, you know, really be able to find out where those fine tuning places are for them, for each individual one. Coming in June couldn't quite do that, so it's going to give me time to really, you know, assess each one of our kids in our program and really figure out, you know, the directions that we have to go to make them be successful.
Yeah, you're going to be able to do that in the new facilities?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be open after Thanksgiving. You know, the grand opening, I think, is in February. But we're going to be able to get some use out of it in another couple, 2 or 3 weeks. So we're excited about that. Excited about moving up there and getting, you know, a brand new home. And I know we're leaving a lot of tradition behind here. And I know there's some people in town that don't want this building to go away, and I completely understand why. There is a ton of tradition inside this building, but it's good for our kids to see something brand new.
You could always sell some of it. Yeah.
Well, no, I think Doc Wilson might hurt me if I try to do some of that. You know, I mean, he's, you know, he loves this building, and, you know, we're going to try to do something with it. You know, and I don't think we're going to try to tear it down. I guess that's not my decision, but I think we're going to try to do something with it.
Well, that's good because, like you said, a lot of tradition in
Absolutely.
here. Maybe the Doc Wilson weight room over there.
Yeah, it'd be
training
nice.
Facility
well,
or something like that.
This building was named after him, so I'd love to keep it that way.
All right, we're going to keep it that way if I have anything to do with it.
There
I
you
tell
go.
you that much. I love that guy. I don't know what it doesn't.
No, I don't either. You know, he's subbing up here at high school some, and it's crazy. You know, I saw him the other day. I'm like, what are you doing up here, Doc? Oh, I just ain't gonna sit at the house.
That's exactly.
You know, he ain't sitting still. So that's a beautiful thing, and you know, I love him to death, and that's part of the mystique of Killeen. Is Doc Wilson, and, you know, all that knowledge and experience and stories and everything else in behind it. So, it's good. It's good to have that.
He knows every name of every kid that ever played for him. He's not made us the face, but once you tell him the name, he can tell you everything about him.
He's still sharp as a tack now. Let me tell you.
Well, you got Waco High coming in,
Yes.
and through the years, boy, I can remember back in the day when they had some really, really good teams under Johnny Tusa.
Right.
Things went down a little bit, but they're coming back up at Waco High.
Yeah, those kids are playing hard, and the coaches are really getting after them. Coach Helt's in his second year there, and they're starting to make some turns in their program as well. Very impressed with how they play defense. They get after it. I mean, you look at any of the games that they've played, even though some of the scores have been lopsided, they play pretty good defense. Offensively, they have some weapons over there, and if those weapons get loose, you're in trouble. But we've just got to go do us. Again, I say this every week, and it's going to be my saying for as long as they allow me to stay here in this chair. We don't worry about who's on the other sideline. They're always going to have weapons. They're always going to have kids. They're always going to have talent. It's about how we handle ourselves and how we, prepare ourselves for a football game, and then how we execute the game plan out there for 4 quarters on Friday night.
I don't think all that'll fit on a T-shirt, though.
No, it probably won't. That's okay.
But that's a heck of a saying, I tell you what.
Yeah, but what I will tell you is it fits in that 6-inch space between our kids' ears.
As long as they remember that.
The problem is right now it kind of leaks out one side, so we got to find a way to keep it in there, for their entire life. Because again, we always tell our kids this: it's not about the games, it's not about wins and losses. It's about the things you learn about manhood through this game. And that type of stuff will stick with them forever. It doesn't matter what your obstacle is that's in front of you when you're a man, when you're a grown man, whether it be somebody else that wants the same job that you do or whatever it is. Kids have got to learn how to overcome those things. They got to quit worrying about what's on the other side, and they got to worry about themselves and focus on making themselves better at what they do and tackling the things that they can control every single day.
Yeah, I mean, you're a life teacher too, not only coach.
Well, and I told the kids this the other day. I said, since I've had my 2 boys, I've become more of that life teacher than I have, I think, the X's and O's football coach. Because again, I'm going to rely on those young men to help raise my kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've really got to pour into them so that they can be good daddies and good husbands, and good citizens for our country.
Well, you can't claim 47 people on your taxes this year.
No, and I won't, and that's okay. But I'm going to claim every single one of them as my own son. I can guarantee you that.
I love it. And everything you've done, Josh. We're going to come back and talk to you next week and kind of wrap things up for the season. But
yes, sir.
You've done a phenomenal job because I've seen it on the sidelines. I've seen the attitude of the kids. Yeah. I've seen it play the difference from last year to this year and what your program is instilling. And the way you coach kids up.
Right.
You're not a screamer or a yeller or a hitter or nothing like that. You're a coach, and you coach these kids up, and we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I love these kids. I love this school. It's just we're going to have to really, really grind on it. I think we got some things moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I said this last week. I'm not satisfied. And I don't know that I'll ever be satisfied.
So you have a gold ball in your hands.
Well, and even then, I'm probably going to find something to gripe about. I think the best ones out there. I look at guys like Gary Joseph and some of those guys like that. When they get to hoist that trophy, your mind instantly goes to, okay, how am I going to win the next one? What can we fix, and how are we going to make things better for the ones coming up? Okay. And I think that's the thing that drives every single one of us is, okay, this may be the finale of this season, but how are we going to make next season better? And I think that's the way I'm going to try to be at all times. I think when that drive and that decision making type process changes for me, I think it's time to start fishing every single day.
All right, I'm still waiting, man. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
It's getting a little cold right now.
White bass will be running before you know it.
They sure will. By March, it'll happen. So,
well, it's been wonderful. We'll talk to you. Of course, after the game, hopefully I'll be able to get over here. I will be here, so I will talk to you after the game. So
we'll probably both be waterlogged. That's okay.
Yeah, you can always come upstairs on your interview if you want.
Yeah, they probably won't like that very much.
I'll find you. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll get you. But I appreciate everything, and we'll see you. And go Roos.
Go Roos.